Don't believe me, just watch. Hey, 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 oh!
Yeah.
I gotta tell y'all a little something. Uptown, funk you up. Uptown, funk you up. Uptown, funk you up. Uptown, funk you up. I said uptown, funk you up. Uptown, funk you up. Uptown, funk you up. Uptown, funk you up. Come on, dance, jump on it. If you said and flown it. If you freak dead and own it. Don't brag about it, come show me. Come on, dance, jump on it. If you said and flown it. Well, it's Saturday night and we in the spot. Don't believe me, just watch. Come on. Don't believe me, just watch. 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 Hey, 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 oh! I got this feeling inside my bones. It goes electric wavy when I turn it on. Off from my city, off from my home. We're flying up, no ceiling when we in our zone. I got that sunshine in my pocket, got that good soul in my feet. I feel that hot blood in my body when it drops. Ooh, I can't take my eyes off of it, moving so phenomenally. You're more like the way we rock it, so don't stop. And under the lights when everything goes, nowhere to hide when I'm getting you close. When we move, well, you already know. So just imagine. Nothing I can see but you. When you dance, dance, dance. Feel good creeping up on you. So just dance, dance, dance. Come on. All those things I shouldn't do, but you dance, dance, dance. And ain't nobody leaving soon, so keep dancing. I can't stop the feeling. So just dance, dance, dance. So just dance, dance, dance. Come on. Ooh, it's something magical. It's in the air, it's in my blood, it's rushing on. I don't need no reason, don't need control. I fly so high, no ceiling when I'm in my zone. Cause I got that sunshine in my pocket, got that good soul in my feet. I feel that hot blood in my body when it drops. Ooh, I can't take my eyes off of it, moving so phenomenally. You're more like the way we rock it, so don't stop, stop, stop. Under the lights when everything goes, nowhere to hide when I'm getting you close. When we move, well, you already know. So just imagine. Nothing I can see but you when you dance, dance, dance. Feel good creeping up on you. So just dance, dance, dance. Come on. All those things I shouldn't do, but you dance, dance, dance. And ain't nobody leaving soon, so keep dancing. I can't stop the feeling. So just dance, dance, dance. So just dance, dance, dance. So just dance, dance, dance. I can't stop the feeling, yeah. So keep dancing. Oh, yeah. I can't stop the. I can't stop the. can't stop the nothing I can see but you when you dance, dance, dance. Feel good, good creeping up on you, so just dance, dance, dance. All those things I shouldn't do, but you dance, dance, dance. Ain't nobody leaving soon, so keep dancing. Everybody say. Can't stop the feeling. Got this feeling in my body. It might seem crazy what I'm about to say. Sunshine, she's here.
I know.
I'm a hot air balloon that could go to space. With the air, like I don't care, baby, by the way. Because I'm happy. Clap along if you feel like a room without a roof. Because I'm happy. Clap along if you feel like happiness is the truth. Because I'm happy. Clap along if you know what happiness is to you. Because I'm happy. Clap along if you feel like that's what you want to do. Here come bad news, talking this and that. Well, give me all you got and don't hold it back. Well, I should probably warn you, I'll be just fine. No offense to you, don't waste your time. Because I'm happy. Clap along if you feel like a room without a roof. Because I'm happy. Clap along if you feel like happiness is the truth. Because I'm happy. Clap along if you know what happiness is to you. Because I'm happy. Clap along if you feel like that's what you want to do. Hey, go. Bring me down, can't none bring me down. The love is too high. Bring me down, can't none bring me down. I said, bring me down, can't none bring me down. The love is too high. Bring me down, can't none bring me down. I said, clap along if you feel like a room without a roof. Clap along if you feel like happiness is the truth. Because clap along if you know what happiness is to you. Clap along if you feel like that.
I don't even. Good morning. Susan, you don't have any more in school, just so you remember
I
that.
have one in school.
You do,
But
you do.
in another country.
I know, but how many of you have littles that are in school?
Yeah.
Yes, how many of you are rejoicing and celebrating? Can I get an amen? We love our babies, we do. All right, you guys, good morning, packed house. I'm so excited. We've got mega camp panel today. And I know, right? So before we get started, what do we start off with and why?
Gratitude.
Why?
Because we're grateful.
Because we're grateful. And what does gratitude do for us?
You focus on more things to be grateful about.
Excellent. And what we focus on?
Man.
Yes, ma'am. So I need three gratitudes real quick. We've got Crystal. Go for it.
I'm grateful that I was in the right place at the right time and bumped into the mayor, who just happened to be the key person to get a return phone call that I've been trying to get through for 4 months.
That's a great gratitude.
Literally.
Right place, right time. Love that. Coming in hot, ready? Boom. All right, give me one more gratitude. I need you more, right, Fabiola?
So I
thank you to Kathy Ray and to Pam, who is always there, like when I call and ask them for advice, so I appreciate it. I don't really want to. But like, I appreciate your advice and time that you guys take to help us.
You know what? All right, I'm doing it for her. Ready? Coming in hot. All right, one more because you know what? Yes, because our mentors do work so hard. And I'm telling you there, when you put in a request, or when you call somebody, do you know what they do? They then go on a group text just to make sure you're taken care of, because she could be walking into a closing or into a showing and Kathy and Pam can pick that up. So it's really cool. They do work very hard for you all. So thank you for acknowledging that. Miss Kristen, what you?
I am grateful for waking up this morning and the support for all you guys, because I just passed my broker's.
Not so hot. It's a gentle toss. How about that? I'm getting pretty good with those things. All right, you guys, thank you for sharing, because gratitude is where we get our energy. And you all know, I was just talking to somebody this morning. I won't call you out, but it's horrible when you go and you pour your heart out in a listing appointment. And they go, oh, we're looking forward to working with you. And then later on, you get a phone call or you call to check on it and they're like, yeah, so sorry, we chose and go with somebody else. And is that discouraging?
Yes.
So sometimes we really just need some stinking gratitude to get through a day like that. Am I right?
Yeah.
All right, cool. So we have a great lunch. I've already had a little bit myself. So let's thank Aero Exterminators. Terry and Donnie, come on up here.
Good morning. I'm actually Jason. Terry was double booked this morning, so you'll get to meet her, I'm sure, soon enough. This is Donnie Wall. Donnie is actually one of you guys.
Yeah.
Donnie, how long you been a licensed realtor?
2.5, almost 3 years.
Yeah.
2.5, 3 years. I've been a home evaluator for Aero for 9 years here in Roswell. I know a good bit of you guys. But yeah, it's fun, educating, and Perry's a lot more prettier than Jake.
A little bit taller or a little bit shorter.
So just real quick, I'm also licensed and I've been with Aero about 26 years. I am the director of our real estate and business development team, and we have 16 folks on the team that are dedicated to doing nothing but supporting your efforts to try to get the best for your clients. Speaking of that, what if I said I can offer you guys for your clients or your own homes even, a 90-day warranty on all the organisms that are wood destroyers recognized by the state. 90 days of a warranty for $75. It's a pretty good deal. How many organisms are actually recognized by the state? Do we know?
Don't want to know.
Termites, right?
Wood, pores.
Wood boring beetles, powder post beetles, drywood termites, and then there's one that's not an insect. What is that?
Has to do with moisture, guys.
Fungus. Now, it's not the same as mold, because mold is not a wood destroying organism. Fungus is a wood destroying organism. And some of you may have taken our CE class, may have done it here a time or two. Jessica did it for you guys. Okay. So we actually have 3 of them, and anytime you want to schedule one, just give me a shout.
Cool.
Anything else you want to add?
Yeah, it's basically essentially a WDO letter, it's $75.
Yeah, that's what the deal.
Yeah, it comes with a 90-day warranty. So it's always good, even for pre-listings, if you're just curious, that has no warranty. Even if they have a termite warranty, again, there's 4 other ones you got to worry about. So it's not just a termite letter that 99% of people call it. It's a WDO letter. So you get us out there pre-listing, whatever, it's better to know than find out during due diligence. Sale goes through all the time that way. Extend closing, it's so annoying to prolong closing. Yes, ma'am.
Can you say that acronym again?
WDO, wood destroying organism,
WDO.
or the report is officially a wood infestation inspection report. That's what it's recognized as in the state of Georgia. And that deals with all the WDO organisms. But again, we do full inspections, also moisture issues and crawl spaces. Recently I got one, we're doing a job next week. Insulation, poly, vents and crawl space had inadequate ventilation. We couldn't clear it because of the inadequate ventilation, so we can come in and fix it, make the process as smooth as possible, and please don't wait till like a day before closing. I can't tell you how yet. We may be able to get it out same day. I know Roswell, where I'm at, we're really responsive. I'm pretty open and I can make it work. Can't guarantee we'll get that clearance letter though. Just because I get out there does not mean you're all good. And I hate making that phone call. I'm sorry, we found this, and this. We can't do anything about it. You now have an active letter. So start your due diligence, get us out there. Pre-listing, get us out there. We want to make your lives easy so we can all be happy, make the clients happy and make a little money, right? So.
Awesome. All right, everybody give Daryl. Yes. All right, y'all. They're gonna stick around for a little while. If you want to talk with them afterwards, it's always great. So, all right. Where am I going? Here we go. Kathy, come on up.
Good morning, everybody. Thank you so much for the texts, the calls, the cards for the month. So just looking at rates, we are hanging in there at around 7 3/8, 7.5 for most people. They can buy it down to 6.997, depending on the credit scores, y'all. It's credit score, down payment, program, really depends. So as people are looking at homes and we're determining what they need, what they desire in payment, that's where we're going to structure it properly and talk through. And people aren't afraid of that right now. Don't get your attitude that people are afraid of it. We're pre-qualifying people as we were. It has not slowed down. So people are wanting to buy, they're wanting to look, they're understanding that they're going to be dating that rate. They're trying to marry that house. Because if they pay attention to you, to us in the media, they know if these rates go down, which they should in a year or two to 5.5, what's going to happen? What's going to happen? What are they then? They're already in a little bit of a bidding war now. It's going to get crazy like it was. So, make sure as we're discussing options, again, we want the best for the client, but make sure they understand that, give them information out of the media about it.
Kathy, I'm just out of curiosity, because you're talking about buying down the rates. Is that something that a family member could give money to do for a buyer?
Yeah, they can get gifts on that. I mean, when we talk about buying down the rate, we're looking at the difference in the payment and giving the points to do it, to see if it makes sense for them. I mean, if they really feel like they're going to refinance in the next 2 years or less, usually buying it down doesn't make sense. So we do talk about that as it's a financial investment that we have to determine how long it takes them to recoup it, how much it's going to cost, what's the difference in the payment. We have that full consultation. And again, we're doing VA, FHA, rural housing, conventional, jumbo, where we've got, we're still doing the bank statement loans for the self-employed. I mean, we are truly all over the board, as far as what people are pre-qualifying for and what we're structuring for their loans. So again, anyone you're talking to, we'll talk to and see what we can do. If we can't get them there now, we'll get a plan of when we get them there.
Remind me with the bank statement, how long do we look at that?
You have to be self-employed for 2 years.
Okay.
We can look at 12 months or 24 months. We can look at both. We can look at their business statements and we can look at the personal statements and we can determine which one gives them the income that they need. So as long as they're self-employed for 2 years. Yeah. Don't have to look at their tax returns at all. Don't have to look at their transcripts of the IRS at all. Someone hadn't filed their tax return in 4 years, they don't have a tax lien, they can still get a loan. 620 credit score. 620 credit score. Any other questions? All right, y'all let us know. Tammy and I are available again, joint text, call, whatever, let us know. We're happy to help.
Awesome. Thank you so much. Ms. Kern wearing her fall colors already.
My favorite time of year is
And there are the boots. And there are the boots. Awesome. Tell us, Scott girl. Kern Schwartz.
Hey, good morning, everybody. So I talked about this last time, but I'm going to talk about it again because I have a stack on my desk that I'm accumulating. It is tax time. Property taxes are coming out. Fulton is not out yet. I thought it would be out by the end of the month, but usually what happens is that their system goes down and I can't even get anything online for about 2 weeks while they're preparing tax bills. It has not gone down yet, so that tells me it's not ready to go. So those bills may be coming out a little bit later. But if you have clients that have closed with us and they're reaching out to you because sellers or buyers, I had a seller that called me yesterday in Florida that got the tax bill sent to her, and they're getting the bill, right? We need to make sure that the buyer sees the bill. It's the buyer's responsibility to pay it if they closed it this year, even though it's going to be in the seller's name. And if they closed with us, and you get that call from your buyer saying, hey, my taxes went up, the seller owes me money. If you can get them just to send you the bill, right? It's a good touch. I'm happy to just do it and then contact me directly. But it's a good touch for you to help your clients out. If you will forward me the bill with a note that your buyer got the bill and can I recalculate and reach out to the seller and let them know that they owe the buyer some money, I'm happy to do that. I have a stack of them right now on my desk. So I'm waiting for Fulton to come out and I'll be really busy dealing with taxes for the next little while. And for you, as a reminder, I said this last time, if you had cash buyers that closed this year, great touch to reach out to them and tell them taxes are coming out if they haven't seen the bill, especially if it's investment property or a lot or whatever. You want to make sure that they get that bill paid this year and that they don't get penalties from it because it's going to be the buyer's responsibility to get it. And if they're not having an escrow account, they want to make sure and catch it. And you can always look that up online and send it to them too when that bill's out. Any questions about taxes?
What kind of penalty is there if they don't pay it?
Yeah, it's been a while since I've looked. It's different in every county, but I think it's 5% of the bill the first month and 1% each month after that. Yeah, that may have gone up, but yeah, that first month's a nice big hit.
Something else that I'm seeing a lot of, because I do a lot of investment properties and it comes up a lot, is if people are not paying their taxes, people are going out and buying up their tax bills fast, like within less than 90 days, they're buying up their tax bills. And what that does is it ties up their property for a year. And at the end of a year, if they have not paid their tax bills, they can go to a foreclosure auction and they can buy that through the tax sale. And then the other thing is in order to redeem that, the interest and the penalties that they have to pay to redeem those taxes is huge. So, that's something that you guys need to learn conversations around because it's happening all the time. I mean, I was shocked. Somebody bought up a tax bill. It wasn't even 3 months past due. And, it cost them thousands of dollars to redeem it. It was a good size tax, but, it was almost $2,000 to redeem it.
There are entire investment groups that do that.
Yes, there's one in particular in Atlanta, that's all they're doing.
Yeah, that's all they do.
Yeah. So again, pay your taxes. Yeah, pay your taxes and use your resources. So thank you, Karen.
There's 2 bottles of wine at my kitchen counter. I'll think about all of y'all when I'm drinking. Well, good morning, everybody. Kelly Lukenda with 210 Home Buyers Warranty, your home warranty partner and resource. So I just wanted to show you the best marketing piece that you can use for your homeowners. This is in your workroom. And also there's my business cards because I want you guys to know that I do come along with this package. I like to talk to your clients. I think it's so important that your clients know who I am, that they know I'm your local rep. They have my local cell phone. They can call me after closing if they have questions, need guidance, or need to get me involved in a claim. That's what I'm here for as your partner. But the most important thing about this service agreement, there's one page in here that's for you. It's for your risk management. It's so important to present the home warranty to all of your buyers and sellers. And we even have a waiver on here Because if they do decline coverage, have them sign that, because put it away in their files, because a day, couple of days, weeks, months, or even up to a year. If they ever call you asking, well, what are you going to do about this broken refrigerator? Well, I did present you something that could have repaired or replaced that broken refrigerator. I actually had an agent that called me about a week and a half ago, and she was, "You're going to be so proud of me." And I'm like, let me hear the story. And she was like, well, I was representing my buyer. It was a difficult buyer, older home, older appliances, older HVAC. Seller will not pay for anything. So I did give her a copy of the service agreement. I kind of went over everything with her, and she declined coverage. I had her sign it, and not even 3 weeks later, she called me because she was so upset about the refrigerator having to be replaced. And she actually asked me what I was going to do if I was going to take my commission and get her a brand new refrigerator. But she had her sign it. She declined it. So there's nothing that she could do because she actually did present it. I want you guys to know, I hear it all the time. Agents tell me, Kelly, I work with my clients. I sell to help them buy their homes, help sell their home. I don't sell home warranties. I'm not asking you to do that again. That's why you have my business card. I will talk to them. I even have agents that will email me, and they will CC the sellers, or they'll CC their buyers saying, hey, Kelly, meet Mr. and Mrs. Seller about the listed home in about a week. I would love for you to share some information. That's them presenting the home warranty. Or Kelly, meet Mr. and Mrs. Buyer. We're closing at the end of the month. The seller's not going to pay for anything, but it is an older home. I would love for you to share, your services and how you can protect them on those older systems and appliances. So if you guys ever used me or ever worked with 210 Home Buyers Warranty, I would love that opportunity to be your partner today. And again, warranty or no home warranty, I still want to be that resource. I do know lots of contractors. So if you guys ever need a referral, someone that has great deals, let me know. I would love to help you guys. So thank you.
Awesome. Go ahead and send that email template out to us so we can just put it in our safe drive. So we can send it to our buyers and sellers
Perfect.
during our transaction.
That's enough. That's enough.
Yeah.
Please.
Yeah.
Thank you.
I just want to let you know, Kelly stands by her word. She has a client of mine on a first name basis.
I told her, I was like, we're best friends.
Exactly. So Kelly stands by the word. If there's anything that's going on, vendors, she has no control over the vendors. Really, you don't. And if the vendors aren't doing what they need to do, Kelly will step in and make sure everything goes well.
It's awesome. Yay, thank you so much.
Of course, I love it. Thank you.
All right, do we have Michael online?
No.
All right, Derek, come on up and tell us about Up Equity. Everybody get Derek some
Morning, everybody. Derek White, Up Equity. We have a buy before you sell program, for those of you who don't know. So what I'm going to do quickly is share a best practice when it comes to our program. This is a year and a half of me selling this program in the Georgia market. I highly recommend that you get your client in touch with us on the front end, preferably before you even take them out and start looking at houses. Let us set up a safety net on the front end. If your client doesn't end up needing us, if we don't have to intervene, if we don't have to buy their house or front them money based on their equity, there's no fee that gets charged to the client. So there's no downside to getting us involved in the front end. Where the downside comes in to not getting us involved is, and I'm going to give you an example, and this is not out of this office, but last week I had an agent who I had spoken with weeks before, told her about the program. She didn't think that it was going to be any problem getting her client's old home sold in time. So they decided not to set up the safety net through us. So 5 days prior to the closing on the new home, the client lost their job. And so she calls me up 5 days prior to this transaction taking place and needs us to step in and save the day. We could not do it. We need approximately 21 days from the time that your client says, yes, I'm going forward with Up Equity, to the time where we can free them up to buy that new home. There's a lot of due diligence we do behind the scenes. So don't assume that everything's gonna be fine and you're not gonna need us. If you set up that safety net and you don't need us, there is no fee that we charge. So my question is, why not just do it? Why not get us involved in the front end?
I've used Derek, and that was the concern that I had, because the client changed their mind and I wasn't exactly sure whether they were, you know, they pretty much have to sign a contract that they're selling their home to Derek up front. That was the first thing, and that's what was concerning when it fell apart on the other end. I'm like thinking, are they homeless now?
Yeah.
But Derek said, unless they're successful on the other end, there is no deal with us. And so that was really reassuring. There was no fee to the customer, and they avoided the escrow, and, you know, so you definitely give them a chance.
Is that in writing somewhere on your contract?
It is, yeah, the contract between us and the client. And our program doesn't go into motion until 2 days, a day or two prior to that new home purchase closing date. So if there is not a new home purchase closing date, then our program doesn't take effect. And if nothing happens, client never finds a house, it just expires, and then we can re-up at that point. But again,
Got a class on the calendar, I think.
I do.
Okay, good.
September 27th, how to buy before you sell, working with Onward.
Yeah.
To put that class together.
Good. You'll be there because this is where you really are being the consultant to that client, presenting all the best options. Thank you, Derek. Yeah. Tell us what you are all about. Diane numbers.
Well, I see a lot of your faces. I do know a lot of you already. My name is Robin Taylor.
Not.
I am a realtor as well, but I have partnered up with Dine Endeavors. I'm here for all your printing needs. We want to be your turnkey service. We want to be your leverage and provide for you whatever you need. If it can be printed, I can print it. As long as your broker says it's okay to print it. I have an agent right now at a different market center, way up and coming, and she wants to advertise another agent's property. Where's my broker? Who's a broker here? Can we do that?
Yes.
Yes, we can. Yes, we can. With permission. Make sure you have permission. Make sure it's in writing. Make sure-
Robin Taylor says.
As long as Robin Taylor says it, it's okay. If you haven't met us, please give me a call. My phone number is here. I have business cards with Melody as well. We'd like to help you with your buyer and seller guides when you go on consultation. We'd like to help you with listing leverage. And in fact, we're teaching a class here on September 12th at 1 p.m. Listing leverage turnkey. From the moment you sign the contract, what do you need? Well, you need that signed. Do you have it? I can make it signed at the last minute. I prefer to have a little bit of notice, but we want to take you from start to finish and wow and bedazzle with jazz fingers your client and everyone that comes to your open house that says, look at this. This is an amazing agent. Let's take some market share. Let's take some more market share.
Tools to help you through your business. Every one of these, remember, every one of these are linked. So when this gets sent out at the end of the day, thank you, Raven, give some, I mean, it just. All of these are linked, so please go through there. We've got a couple of classes coming up. Stay today. Sam Jackson will be in the house. Get deals right from your phone. We've got our masterminds Monday, Wednesday, and Friday. This one, oh my gosh, this is going to be so fun. I wish I could be in this. Top lead gen strategies with Susan and Joycelyn. It's going to be amazing. You guys, 36 touch program in the house on September 7th, 9 to 12.
See
Right?
Here.
Good class.
Wow.
Here.
CE too.
And it's CE.
Wow.
3 hours of CE. All right, so please register, get your phones out right now and register for this. Y'all may need to duck your head over there because you're in front of that. So make sure you register so that we have enough, so we've got enough of everything that we need. Cool? Tell me when I can switch. You guys done? Switching 1, 2, 3. They're in the slide deck. Who needs license law? License law, that's coming up. Melba will be teaching it. Remember, all of our CE classes are free. Okay, how many of you have downloaded your playbooks? Do y'all know that you have your own Google Suite?
Yes.
Part of your kw.com address, you have your own Google Suites, and guess what? All you have to do is click on here, it will download all of them into your Google Drive for free. Please download your playbooks. Also, if you want more like one pagers and things that may not have a full playbook, you guys go here to Connect Learning. You'll get one pagers on all kinds of stuff. Really great stuff.
Well, is that where we go to get the stuff, the one pagers from Mega Camp?
Yep,
Yeah.
there's that, yes, right there, and there's a whole Mega Camp one pagers too. So it's in the Mega Camp, you put that in here, so you'll see that in just a minute.
Okay, perfect.
And we have Bold coming up. Who's been to Bold? Yes, okay, who has been more than 10 times Bold?
More than 10, I'm at 10.
Okay, how many?
It will.
12 times Bold. I'm 13, I beat you by one day. So you're older than I am, right? Okay, so what is Bold? Bold is a 7-week intense mindset training around real estate and your life. It's awesome. Go ahead and click play, would you?
There was a lot of new information that I got that I've never heard before.
What would you say to someone who's on the fence about spending the money for Bold?
Oh my gosh. It's an investment in your business. It's number one, it's tax write-off. There are incentives that we often get, and we will start operating at a higher level than you have in the past, and you'll get the money back.
The reason I love Bold is because every time I take it, and I'm more than 6 times Bold now, it kickstarts my business, and it's a way for me to mastermind with other agents and get myself on track for the next quarter.
Awesome, thank you.
I think it was helped me engage with my database better than I have in the past by breaking through with mindset challenges.
Normally in Bold, we have buyers, listings, and under contract. You put 259 homes under contract in the last 7 weeks.
So impactful. What would you say to those people who are on the fence?
Don't be on the fence. Build your business. Invest in your business. Just do it.
Just do it.
As you grow, okay? Hear it possible. Just do it. Just do it. Just do it. You won't regret it.
Okay, so, there we go. Okay, good. This is where you register. Click there. As soon as this goes out, click here to register. The first day is free. So go ahead and register, you guys. You won't regret it. GCPA compliance, please, you guys check the do not call list if you're making any consumer calls. ABADS, get your affiliated business association disclosure signed when?
Their house.
On any agreement, get it signed, get it signed, get it signed. Why? Because it's RESPA. We don't want to get fined. Get it signed. Got it? Okay, real quick, this week's market update. Guys, we went all the way up to 9,800 over the weekend. Where were we 6 or 7 months ago?
7.
Yes. We've gone up 26 to 3,000 homes on the market, 2,600 to 3,000 homes on the market. So guess what? You can't say, we cannot say anymore, oh my gosh, there's no inventory. Because somebody's getting inventory, right? Somebody's getting inventory. 7.29% interest rate, womp womp. We still have 2.2 months of inventory, 10 days median days on the market, 30 average days on market.
Robin,
Yes,
we are starting to shift to the fall market.
yes,
So, and it's so in the higher price range, everything going on, it's all sitting around right now.
yeah,
So that would indicate that it's gonna keep trickling down toward a lower price range.
yeah, yeah.
The shift happened really fast.
It does.
It happened over the past couple of weeks, where even stuff that was 1.2, 1.5 was going above lit. All of a sudden now, it's sitting around.
Yeah.
Not to say they're gonna crash, but they're staying on the market.
What do we look at when we're looking at days on market and inventory and trends, luxury and townhomes, right? Because they'll sit longer on the days on market. It's such a strong indicator.
Is it condos or townhomes? Condo, luxury and condos?
Yeah, condos, luxury. All right. Sellers are still getting 98.8% of their list price, average 33 days, 2.2 months. These are your talking points. So when somebody says, how's the market? You're not going to say, oh, I could really use some listings. That's not how the market is. That's how your business is. That's not how the market is. So how is the market? Hey, the market is fascinating. What's it? Right? So this is what's fascinating about the market. And when you can say, we've got 98 homes, just under 98 homes on the market right now, as opposed to 6 months ago or 7 months ago, we had 7,000. That's a talking point. And the seller wants to know why. What's happening? Why is there more inventory? What's happening that we were at 101% of list price and now we're at 98.8? Hey, real estate agent, expert, professional, tell me what's going on with the market. I need to know, right? Okay, the listing contest is extended by popular demand and request. Could you say one more time? Yes, because July and August suck. So. It's like you were getting your kids in school, hallelujah. Okay, so. Yeah, I love Medea. I was sharing on my inner Medea. Robin's had too much coffee. I'm so sorry. All right, so here are the rules. All this is being sent out. Okay, we are going to call up our panel here in just a minute. What I want to talk to you is how many of you have seen these headlines? I have. All right. We're going to get some truths out right now because I want you to understand these are headlines, right? So at Mega Camp, the International Associate Leadership Council voted on 4 very important proposals. If y'all remember, I sent out about 2 months ago a video explaining what those proposals are, and I attached the proposals to your email. This is how many times, and sorry, we might need to turn that light off. Mel, would you hit that light switch? Because this is a little hard to see. And if you need to, and I apologize, this is actually a photo that I took at the leadership, at the Mega Leadership Camp back in, I don't know, when did we go there, Leah? May? April? So look, here are all the changes that have occurred to our profit share program. We have had many changes to the profit share program. And the bylaws and our policy and procedural manual allows the international ALC to make changes by vote. It is heavily regulated. This did not come out of KWRI office. It came from the agents making a proposal to change the profit share system. Okay, so I want you to know there have been lots of changes throughout the years. Would you hit that light switch for me, Joycelyn? Thank you. So, so with that being said, this is what was voted on. Profit share and growth share. Can somebody tell me what profit share is?
When we have profit, we share it.
That's correct. That is so how much profit share do we typically, what's that percentage that is usually shared back?
48%.
48%. So what does that mean? It means that the owner of the company back in 1983 said, hey, I think we'll share back 48% of our profits. And you know what? I'd probably share back 10%. Think I'm being real generous? Yeah, I mean, how about that? Would you share back 40% of your profit from your company? That's crazy. It's crazy, but that's what happened. So profit share and growth share for competing former associates will be reduced by 95%. In other words, for those that left the company and they are still getting profit share, their profit share, what they would normally get, has been reduced down to 5%. Why? Because they're no longer they are no longer at the company and they're no longer helping to build the company. And in some cases, they were actually
Taken away from the company.
taking away from the company.
Taking our money and our people.
Now, so where does that, is profit share compensation? No, it is a gift. It's just a gift. It is a privilege. So former associates will have 6 months to return and reinstate their profit share to 100%. Effective once the Winmore system can allow for this change, exact dates will be coming on or before July 1st, 2024. All of this kicks in around July 21st. The profit share dollars can be used for administration and defense of the profit share program. The contribution levels were changed just a little bit in a better favor. And the other third proposal was that the expenses for OP salary raised up to $5,000. It was $2,000. Transferring associates or staff where MC's OCAP to another market center, that is now allowed to be 4 years. So if you have any questions, these two you might not quite understand, but these two, it hits you. You need to understand what that is. So if you have any questions, who are you going to call? You. Please come talk to me. If you have any questions about it, please come talk to me. Right? Your ALC, by the way, was informed about this before this vote happened. You can speak to your ALC members and ask them about it too. All right. So I wanted to clarify that because these headlines are a little disturbing. That I wanted you to understand what the truth is. Got it? Call me or talk to your ALC members with any questions. Got it? All right, good deal. Mega Camp Camel. Wow. Wow. Mega Camp Camels. Mega Camp Camels. Wow. Dang, she called you a camel. I've been told better, but I've been told worse. All right.
Take a few spots.
There you go. You got one? Yeah, I'm here. I gotta keep spinning. We got another one up there. All right, here's one right in the middle. Leo, down here. How long does it take to assemble a camel train? I got no spinning camels. No spinning. Whoa. All right, so duck your heads, you guys. Click here for Mega Camp playlist. Okay. Okay, thank you. So when you guys get these, click on that because you are going to get so many people's notes, literally one-pagers, playbooks, everything from Mega Camp. Just because you can't be there doesn't mean you don't get the resources, right? Because we share everything. This is sharing. It's what we do. This is everybody from our market center that was there. And we just had a really, really good time. You can see that. Because I didn't show the other picture, you guys. I just couldn't. What could have got laying
That's why
down?
I'm staying on the ground.
Oh.
Laying on the ground, right?
You can put her on countertop. Okay, so we're gonna start with Heather. We're gonna start with Heather because Heather wrote out, she went to. Tell us about this and you guys, this is where you get to glean, ask questions too. So Heather, tell us all about this and what the class was, why did you go, all that other stuff.
Well, do we have ADHD or do we have ADHD? Okay. Right, so there's a reason we don't sit behind a desk all day anymore. So I was breakout session and I went because obviously I need it. Also, I'll apologize ahead of time for any misspellings that I made. You have to write fast and also stare in the dark. You know, you're distracted by everything.
I really like your handwriting.
Thank
just
you.
saying. That's
Thank
great.
you. But what I did want to say is, we sat down, it spoke to me so much. There were so many little nuggets, but if you see this little orange, like highlighted thing that says in cup, this was a tool that they gave us to say, if it's not in your in cup, then you're just not going to do it. So it basically has to work for your brain. So the business is not one size fits all. The business is tailored to us the way that it works for us. So what is in cup? It's interesting, new, challenging, urgent, and passion. It talks about, you know, how to fit your lead gen in your in cup. It needs to suit my life and take the path of least resistance. Amen. If you tell me the only way for me to lead generate is to pick up the phone and make phone calls, you might as well shoot me dead because I don't want to do it. I just don't. I don't want to do it. So what suits you? Exactly. Like what, you know, no.
What we were talking about.
About texting and videos and other forms of these ways of like reaching out to people, right? So that's a perfect example. The other thing was leverage. You know, we have to leverage sooner. So people who have like scatterbrains or ADHD, I'm a scatterbrain, you know, we have to get an assistant sooner. We have to have our docs in certain systems and formats. And if it's not completely organized, which is subjective, you know, how do we find ourselves? So it just goes on, you know, we have to be flexibility and giving yourself permission to say, you know what, I can't handle this task right now. So I'm going to delegate 20 minutes to that and 10 minutes to stare into space or to take a walk around wherever. Sometimes it's just that, like, sometimes it is just that. You know, they even touched on medication. And if you need medication, you know, you should be, it can help you profoundly. And so really, what does that look like for you? Tailor this in cup, tailor this all to yourself. And the other thing is like just accepting that, you know, your mind works a little bit different and giving yourself grace. Let's see.
I love what you just said. Do not speak to yourself unkind because you cannot process it in a hard way. I love that our self-talk can be so negative. We can self-talk in a way that we would never talk to somebody else. I love that.
Yeah. And it's so brutal. Like, you know, they were saying things like, for example, my husband says all the time, he's like, your brain must be like a monkey on crack. That does feel like that, you know, it's like a love brain. Yeah, right. It's fascinating. I think it's ridiculous. Yes.
What in cup stands for.
Yeah, it is. Hold on one second. Interesting, new, challenging, urgent, and passion. Or probably passionate, but I stopped writing.
See, we all have ADHD. We completely forgot that.
Yeah. So, you know, just they spoke about it saying like, oh, you know, sometimes a simple task of like, oh, I've got to take a shower because I've got to be somewhere at 11. The task of like getting into the shower, it seems like such a like ridiculous task. It does, but you have no idea because like you just get up and you're like, oh, I got to go in the shower. This is why I was 10 minutes late. I got to go in the shower. Let me make my bed. Let me do this. Right. So it's just really like giving yourself grace to say,
this is the way that I operate, and not fully make an excuse for it, because honestly, you shouldn't be full of excuses, but to say like, hey, maybe I know that I need 30 minutes extra. And set a timer. And then set a 5-minute timer after that, which is what I did.
It's 5 times.
Yeah, and that's the thing. They said you go to bed like 2 hours later. Oh my God, it's so hard for me to wake up, like to fall asleep, and then waking up, it's like I'm like sludge. I'm like, oh, this is terrible. So just have grace with yourself. Income is really helpful. The notes are all written out. I think there's like 5 pages. So yeah, good luck with that. I also love that you said transitions can be hard for people with ADHD. The shower. Right? If you're moving forward, celebrate. Yeah. Things that happen slowly are things that last. Yeah. 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 I really liked that too. Oh, the other thing she talked about was getting Post-its, and she said, this is on the last page. She said, create a parking lot. So put all your thoughts on a Post-it. And like, if you are having a hard time, like retaining what you have to do, get a Post-it, parking lot, wherever it is, like in your office, in your mirror, on your fridge, whatever, and just kind of take them off one by one. And if it's one of those things that you have to repeat the next day, just that night before, rebuild your parking lot. So it's a way to track your thoughts too. Interesting. Interesting. Any questions? Does anybody relate?
Oh, God.
Oh, yeah. Yeah.
Can I expand on that self-talk?
Yes.
No.
Yes, Coach
I have to
Shaw.
stand up, I have to stand up. So Sam and I got the privilege of going to the MAPS coaches training on Monday. We got a preview of the next Bold coming up, so a little commercial for Bold too. So I want to demonstrate something about the self-talk in your head, because you all have dialogue in your head. There's somebody talking in your head all the time, right? If you don't believe it, close your eyes for a second and tell yourself that you don't have somebody talking in your head. Right? Because somebody's talking in your head all the time, right? Unfortunately, for a lot of us, that self-talk is really negative sometimes, right? It's not always positive, because we're critical of ourselves, right? Now if you want to play along, just trust me. If you don't trust me, just don't play along, but if you trust me. Okay. Close your eyes for a second and think of the last time that you felt like you messed up. And think of those words that came to your mind. Have those words come back to you. What did you say to yourself? Don't say it out loud. Right? Okay. I'm sorry I took you to a negative place. Open your eyes. I know that was negative. I want to take it back to a positive place now. Now keep your eyes open for a second, but think of some of you love dearly, right? One of your children, maybe not all of them. Pick your favorite child.
No, we don't have favorites.
We don't say we don't have favorites. That's the part, right? Now, close your eyes again. Think of the last time that they came to you and said, hey, I messed up on this. Use those same words towards them right now. All right, open your eyes again real quick. Because that was hard. You can't do that. You can't. Why do you do it to yourself? Right? You're important because that person you love needs you to be strong, needs you to be whole, and not use those words. This is just a brief exercise that you can learn in Bold. And it's pretty impactful. I see some of you, it made me tear up too. I couldn't possibly talk to my daughter that way. That's not too, but. So, I just wanted to leave you with that gift. That was one of the most impactful moments for me at Mega Camp. That's what I wanted to share with you today. I had something else, but that just kind of popped. Thank you for that self-talk thing. Just leave here today. And anytime you start that negative talk, yourself, think about this moment where you just had that impactful moment of trying to talk to somebody else that you love the same way. Just cut it out. Stop doing it. You can be critical of yourself and tell yourself, hey, I could do better. That's fine. Don't run out here with a giant ego, like all of a sudden you can, but the negative self-talk, that's just cut it out. Try to find new ways to treat yourself. All right. Thank you.
Love yourself. Back really quick on that, number 5, where you said that you liked that it said, you have to not be unkind to yourself. They went on to say,
they went on to say that you cannot process things in a hard way, and you're good at other things, and it's fine not to be good at things. And I think that's something we struggle with. We think we have to be great at all the things all the time. And so when we fail or we mess up, we have a really hard time beating ourselves up, right? I would never talk to my children when I talk to myself. And I got a lot of kids, I could pick and choose.
Yeah, you suck today and you're wonderful, but I would never.
There's a lot of psychology about. There's a lot of psychology, a lot of negativity that happened in your life that probably brought you to that place why you talk to that way. And maybe some of us need to really get through that, but maybe just the first tiny step you can make is just remember that moment of talking to other people that way.
Yeah. Well, I'm such an idiot. Let's move on. I'm kidding. That's awesome. That's awesome. Anything else you want to share on that? No. That's great. Thank you. You're very welcome. All right. So, Jan, we're going to have you go next. Jan put together a whole bunch of photos and stuff like that. So our wonderful Raven here put it inside of a video. So you talk and this is going to go in the background.
Perfect. You know, I knew if I sent it, Raven would fix it.
Awesome. And any of you get up and walk around if you need to. I'm like that too. So
I just want to talk to you guys about Keller Williams Military. People don't know what's going on with Keller Williams Military. So I just want to tell you their mission is a community established to recognize and support active duty veteran military, as well as their family members and supporters. Our mission is to honor your service and sacrifice by providing you with tools and camaraderie you need to grow a better real estate business and an even better life. And, you know, it's really important that we support our military personnel. And Matt and Dina, who were on the first slide, they have taken this on and they're doing an amazing job. They do things like twice a month, or they have talks for strictly military personnel, military wives. They will start this next month for military families and supporters. So it's really an awesome program to get involved with. It is just like luxury and commercial and now land. We have a military division. They have programs that you can buy into and get a lot of training, but they also have programs that are free. It's free to be a military member or affiliate. I happen to be the affiliate. I'm the Market Center ambassador, and I would challenge all of you to come and talk to me and let's figure out what we can do to support our military community. Their thing at Mega Camp was around masterminding what we can do for our business and recreation. So there's the military program, but you saw them dancing. That was a networking event that they had for military personnel and supporters. And we went and we had a blast. They were doing a dance off at this program, and we were raising money for the UO. We could provide gifts for active military at the holidays. So it's just an amazing division of Keller Williams that nobody knows about. We want an amazing support group here in our office. So I challenge all of you to come talk to me and let's see what we can do there.
And the dancing skills are not required.
Oh, yeah.
That was awesome. Yeah.
But they raised $6,000 that night in donations for the USO.
That's awesome. Land. Did you want to share anything about land?
Oh, yes, absolutely. So once again, you know, a forgotten segment of our company is land, Keller Williams Land. We are actually the largest land broker in North America. People don't know that because our name is not out there. So Vin and Jason have taken this over and they've created a new website for us that'll launch sometime this next month. The legalities are involved right now. And once that's, you know, they get all the T's crossed and the I's dotted, that will roll out. And that is for land members. One of the things that we did while we were at the very first land summit, they had it during 2 days before Mega. So I went in early. I went in on Saturday they usually do a commercial summit, but now they're having a commercial summit and a land summit. And it was amazing. Sid Miller, from the Texas Department of Agriculture came and talked. He was phenomenal. He was just an amazing speaker. And he talked to us about what's not only going on in Texas, because that's where he is, but across the country, regarding our land. And it's amazing some of the things that are happening right now, and we should become more involved in that. And if you have things that you'd like to know, one of my goals for the next year is to do at least one mastermind every quarter. And, you know, everybody submit questions and let's do a little investigating and everybody come together and learn about land, because it's kind of a forgotten skill. You know, years ago, we all knew about land because, you know, we all came from farming communities. But now, you know, you don't. And the same thing that happens on a huge tract of land also happens on a, you know, quarter-acre lot that we're selling here to put a house on. So a lot of those same things are important. You know, we had a lot of people come. There was Walter Nussbaum. He came, he taught multiple business skills, and even Jay Papazon came by. Mark King came and he taught for 3 hours. It was an amazing summit. And if you guys have any interest in it, let me know, because they want to build the land so that we are known across the country the same way as Keller Williams is.
And I had a coach once, about a year or two ago, that said that a sort of new, it's not really new, but a frontier that many of the high-end investors are going for are purchasing mineral rights on land. And so this is where water is a precious resource. And so that ties into a little bit on land.
So one of the things that they teach in the land division is renewable energy. So I have access to help people with wind farms or solar farms, carbon rights. You know, so you have these families who have these huge plots of land, they just sit there and do nothing. Well, you know, the money, they might be able to make a good bit of money, or they might be able to make just enough money to pay the taxes every year, so it doesn't, the family doesn't lose it. So we have those resources now through this land division, you know. Nicole had a question real quick.
So with the affiliate with the land, are they gonna be able to help you with developers, all that kind of stuff, and all the different levels and stages of the land?
The thing about the land division is they all want to come together and help and build as a team. So, you know, there's multiple different kinds of land. So like up in the mountains, they have, you know, hunting pieces. And then here are these plots of land, we want to develop them. So we have resources and people in this network that we can go to and get the help that we need. And they will partner with you to teach, so they can teach you, because, you know, a lot of them have been doing this subdividing, especially down in Texas, some of the stuff they're doing down in Texas, because people are just flocking there by the droves. They're getting 1,500 new people a day. Is it
I just read
15,000?
I just read an article that Bureau of
50,000.
Land Management, West Coast are distributing these same huge tracts of land because BLM owns most of the land on the West Coast.
They do.
Right, they do.
They do.
So, so land is such a great, so we will do a mastermind. So, keep a watch for anything that Jan puts out, so, that you can know a bit more
We
information.
have them coming the last Tuesday of the month,
So
September.
to her land point, I just had a client who sold over 1,000 acres last month. And to avoid the taxes, all of that money was rolled into a 1031, and everybody seems to think, oh, it has to be like properties. It does not. It rolled into, and they bought 3 investment properties. So they avoided over $400,000 in taxes.
Yeah. And there are people within the land division that can help you. I'm only one of 3 or 4 land agents in the entire state. So if you have questions, come to me. If you're really interested in becoming a land agent, come see me and I'll help you get signed up.
Perfect. All right, we're moving on. Thank you, Jan.
What did you get the most? You celebrated your birthday week.
We did, I did.
Yeah.
Yeah, with the
So tell us your all
fabulous
eyes. What'd you get?
Okay, I think the thing that resonated with me forever, oh, I like that. Forever 40. The thing that resonated with me the most was, there was a statement while we were at Mega Camp that said, in an 11-hour period where we talk about hustle, let's talk about happy. So I'm gonna chat with you a little bit about the difference between hustle culture and happy culture. So I haven't met most yet, 'cause I'm still pretty new. We're down the hall across from Don Victoria. You can come see me anytime. But I definitely had a hustle mentality, you know, based on my upbringing, where I was very hustle focused, you know, multidimensional, got to do all the things all the time, as opposed to focusing on happy. So I'm going to give you 8 terms, and I want you to think of which one resonates with you the most. So the first is, if you could describe your life, pick one of these words. First is at peace. The second is healthy. The third is accomplished. The fourth is loved. The fifth is productive. The sixth is successful. The seventh is wealthy. And the 8th is happy, right? So if you chose at peace, are there peacers in the house? Peacers? Okay, so if you're an at peace person, that's really referring to your spiritual life. What about your healthy people? Anybody healthy? Healthy, very straightforward, would be for health. What about my accomplished people? This is a room full of real estate agents. Somebody in house is accomplished, right? So that is really referring to your person. What about love? So, okay, our people who are focused on love, that's really integrated into what your key relationships are in your life. How about productive? Productive, okay, so productive is your job, career focused people. What about successful? I just want to be successful, drink one sweet down the end, okay. Business, very business focused. Who are my wealthy people? Wealthy, nobody picked wealthy. All right, wealthy, make it rain, all about the money. And who picked happy? I think it should be the majority of people by now, unless you just don't like to raise your hand. When you're happy, you're really able to focus on all of the other 7. So it's that choosing the goal of happy for your life really opens you up in order to be able to achieve all of those things. So then we're back from the one thing, which I said is sent to Raven, but I forgot. But happiness really is a choice. And that's something I've learned in my personal life. You know, a lot of times we have the attitude like, well, when I get this, I'll be happy. Or when I sign the next client, I'll be happy. Or when I sell a $1.5 million house, I'll be happy. But happiness should not be a result of your circumstance. Happiness is a decision. Happiness is how you show up every day in your life for your family, and how you show up in your business for your clients, and how you show up here in the world. It's a multidimensional thing. So if you're happy because one of those great things happened, that's awesome. But it's really fleeting because something happened and now you're happy. What if inside happiness was just your disposition? So if you've ever had a chance to meet me one-on-one, a lot of times people describe me that way. Oh, you're so happy. You're so happy all the time. But as a person,
She is.
and I am naturally pretty happy, you know, but in my personal life, I've experienced that would make it really easy to choose not to be happy on a daily basis. And so when you think about the 3 dimensions of happy, how do you feel about a moment in time? So that's like an emotional reaction to something that's happened. How do you feel over time? That's somebody like me, oh, I'm happy, right? It is an ongoing state of emotional well-being and the choice to show up and be happy, even when it's not easy. And then how do you feel about all of your time? So in your last days in this life, and you close your eyes, I highly doubt you're going to be thinking about that last commission check. I think you're more than anything going to be focused on that emotional response about how did your life turn out? And did you show up as that person that you could have been all along? Had you just decided that your happiness was not circumstantial, but that it was a deliberate choice? So that was the thing that I got the most. There's some good notes. I think I will send over to you guys so that you can have. But it was fantastic. So I'm going to challenge each and every one of you, even when it's not easy, to choose to be happy.
Yeah. Relate. How many of us are hustlers? I mean, we're like going, 100 miles an hour, going, right? And it is hard.
I had to retire my theme song, last comment. So anybody who knows me knows that I'm a gangster rap girl when I'm writing contracts.
you know, I mean, like you're out showing properties every day I'm hustling, Rick Ross, every day I'm hustling, and I would be hustling on the way, not anymore. I do not hustle on the way to my, like, me and Pharrell are happy.
Yeah, well, I'll stick to Marley. That was awesome. Thank you. All right, Diana, what you got?
So my thing was, you know, when you go to a big event like this, it's like drinking from a water hose, but you've got to figure out what you're going to focus on, what you're going to think. So I was going to take some business piece and bring it back and apply it to my business. And the one thing I really listen to a lot, and I'm not as organized as these ladies. I don't have everything written down. Is open houses. So you can choose to be in the open house business. And it's not just going to the open house, and putting 4 signs up, you know, and putting a pad out there and asking them to sign up. It is marketing it. It is putting one person, I think they said they put their minimum is 15 signs. And I was like, how do you get 15 signs? I don't even know 15 signs. You know, so maybe I need to call Diana Devers and buy some more signs, but to get the signs out, it's the total piece. So it goes from putting it on Facebook, putting it on Instagram, marketing, running campaign ads. So you have to have a plan, a total plan from the beginning to the end to the follow-up to get business. And open house is not just greeting them at the door. Your job is to be the educator, to be the consultant, not just asking them, say, hey, you know, what brings you out today? But dig deeper, find more out about them, because you need to mine your database. So when I mean mine your database, we went to an event, the ALC did, I guess, January with Gene Rivers. And it was about mining your database. So you meet them, you put them in your database, and you mine those people, you keep back. So you met them at the open house, they want to invest in property. You can get all of your business guys from open houses. 60% of the people who come in that door to your open house have a house to sell too. They're not just buying. And most, you know, you will get some people that are just tire kickers, but people are there for a reason. So market your merchandise, your open house. Gene Rivers taught us at the ALC thing to merchandise your open house. You could do a plexiglass thing throughout your open house. Do you want to find out more about investing in property? Put a QR code, get their information, merchandise it throughout. You're going to hit everybody on some point in that open house. And I wanted to tell you about this too. We all know who Jay Papp is on this. If you're not on his email every Friday, you need to be on it.
The 20%.
You need to be on it. And it's just the 20%er. And he sends it out every Friday. And this past week, you know, it's Friday, he put the top takeaways from Mega Camp. These are his notes. So it is a great source for you if you're building your business, if you're enhancing your business, wherever you are, to take stuff away. But my big takeaway was open houses. And the other thing was, did you know that silent and listen have the exact same words? But and I had letters, same letters. I'm forever 40 and I did not know that. So put it down and think about it. Silent, listen. We need to listen more and talk less, because the less you talk, you're going to hear more and you're going to see more.
That's awesome. On there. While you were talking, we pulled up the playbook for the open house. So, so when you pull that up, you can click on that slide. But when you pull that up, if you want open house to be a part of your, you know, one of the legs of your business lead sources, everything is right there, all the way down to the checklist.
Go deep into whatever you choose to do, go deep. Quit trying to be the master of all, which that's what I used to do.
Yeah.
You know, squirrel, oh, Mary's making money, do that, you try to do that. Be you and go deep in whatever you choose to do.
Yeah.
And this, is that playbook the same thing we bought? Okay, so I bought it because I'm a paper girl.
So you bought the MREA playbook?
Yes.
Yeah, I don't, you know, I don't.
It's gonna be shown
I'm sure it is in there, but this is a playbook that's already available to them, that nobody has to buy. It's already in there.
Yeah, if you want to visit.
I'm a paper girl too. I'm a paper person. I got highlighted.
It works great. You're building a manual for your team. You just say just label. I have a copy of that MRE
playbook. If anybody wants to come by the office and look at it, you're more than welcome to.
And several of us ordered it, because I think they ran out at camp.
Yeah, I pre-ordered.
You're
She didn't get it. She got it from me. She's still waiting on hers.
I'm still waiting on mine. I thought I was being really slick, that I would pre-order before Mega Camp, and you have yours, and I don't have mine.
I
So
bribed
anyway,
somebody
here we
with
go. So let's go ahead and. I just want to add on open houses, I built an entire business on them.
Yes, you did.
Like I did. I moved here, I did not know a single soul. So it is possible. Do the playlist, talk to Diana, talk to me. You can do it. You can
And
do
people
it.
say all the time, oh, they don't work, oh, they don't work, oh, they don't work. No, they just don't work because you don't work.
Right, right.
You know?
You have to work it, just like
You do.
you work anything else.
You do.
Right.
And please don't say, can you please sign in because the seller would like to know who's been in.
They're
the
not gonna
house."
do that.
I mean, don't do that. Really don't do that. And, rather when somebody comes in, you're gonna work it. Hey, I'm Robin Lemon from Keller Williams. Thanks for coming by. Am I your first, second, or third open house today?
First one.
I'm so glad. Look, you didn't come to talk to me. You came to look at the house. It's 450,000. We got this and that. Hey, I'd love you when you're done. Thanks so much for coming by. Don't say sign in. The seller wants to know at the ball face slide. They don't care who's been in the house. Okay, I can teach a whole thing on open
And I
house.
see it so much in sales, like you're doing sales, be the consultant and the educator.
Hello, yes, yes, and be personable and be you, right? All right, Leah, what you got today?
Oh, wow. Okay, there was so much. Okay, so it is really, I love what you said. It's like what was really consistent about all these mega agents that walked on there is that our business is not rocket science. Any of the things that they did was not something any of us have not done at one point or another. The difference is they do it to such an excellent, killer, precise level, and they are super, super consistent. You just don't do what they just keep doing it. And they even admit like 30, 60, 90 days, 6 months sucked. Okay, what about the guy who sold nothing for 6 months?
Yeah.
Yeah.
That's
right?
one that lost Murray. Yeah.
Yeah.
Land Rover in the garage. Put it in the garage.
Yeah, but it was gonna repossess. But what I heard, so every time I go to these, it's like there's so much. What are you gonna come back and do? You get motivated and you get really, really just pick the one thing. So like the one thing I really love was a targeted golden letters, but there's targeted. We talk about life events because at least then you are targeting an event in their life. It's not just like, hey, I want to buy your house. It's like you are targeting the very people that are sitting at a life event and something's happened to them. And you're answering and you're solving a problem and a solution because we are not, and and it's all backing into like, follow with me. I'm going to scroll this down, but it's like we have databases and we look at our databases and our contacts, and yet we still go out and spend thousands of dollars to find more people to talk to. What's wrong with the people that you have? Because they know you. Would they not say hi to you in the grocery store? I have a better shot closing that person than I have 100 people that I have never even met, right? Or my close ratio is 1 to 100. So they talked about what are they doing today that's different because of our shift in market is they're looking at their database and they're squeezing it as hard as they can to find out how can I service my database more? How can I get to know them more? We're in a people business. There's no such thing as a bad lead. Every person that you have in your database is a contact. And I love this. Remember this, y'all? Every single one is a human being. That one, I almost felt like a butthead because I go, they are a human being. And
They're not a sale. They're not a commission. They're a person.
They are not. They're a human being. And at that moment that I called them and talked to them, they weren't in the mood to do business. That's fine. They're still a human being. That could change next week. That could change next month. How many of that has that happened to us? Where like they told you, no, call me back in 6 months. I'm not ready. And you find out a month later they just closed with somebody else. So what? A week later, I lost my job. Blah 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 blah. Right? So everybody, they're not saying no to you. They're just saying no to it, whatever the it was that you talked about that day.
Or not yet.
Yeah, or not yet. So that was just, really, that was like the big thing, right? Just the value of your database, because that is what we have, right? Yeah.
want to go back to the targeted golden letters. So are you saying use your database and touch upon specific events, you know?
Well, what there was one agent for that group, they use golden letters, but they target the life events. And actually I have that book and I haven't read it yet, because Pam won't give it back to me. Because I did get a copy. I got a copy. I was tempted too. It came into the store, the whole box, and people were feeding to it like it was on sale. I didn't know what it was. I go, I want one too. And I said,
Can I answer? All I want to know is I was ready to punch somebody in the face to get one.
Right, so this is this young guy, his name was Van Wilmer.
Oh, yeah.
So his whole business is golden letters.
Yeah.
He's his letter, all he sends out, this is what he says. It's, hi, are you interested in selling your home at X to my client? That's all it puts. That's all it puts. Targeted what she said, life events, foreclosure, divorce, blah, blah. He resends to the areas, that same area every 6 to 8 months. So he doesn't send it every single month, the same letter.
right, yeah, he cycles it
The
through.
golden letter and your SOI are two different methods. So you send golden letters to your SOI.
Right. No, that was just
Two different methods.
that was just a different thing.
What do you have to add?
And I just want to add something to what Leah was saying. The guest speaker was Phil M. Jones, and he has a book called Exactly What to Say. I took extensive
Oh, my
notes.
gosh.
Oh, and
I listened to the Audible on the plane home about.
He has one specifically
For
for
real estate.
real.
Yes, that's what I bought.
And if you buy the book, somewhere in the book, it tells you where you can download all the stuff.
Mhm.
And the stuff that you can download is amazing.
Because we all tend to talk too much.
Yeah, well, and we use that
too
point.
many words.
To that point, he spoke about having empathy, and he said, to care about what people I care about and understand the details of their vision. Show me you know me. That's what they want. They want to know that we know them. You and them. The letter I is the least influential word in the planet. If you say, I was just checking on you, I was just calling to see how far along we are in the process. I do it all the time. I'm not even asking. When we use the term, I was just, it is forced permission. I'm calling you, I'm saying what I have to say, and I'm not asking you if I could say it, right? So let's slow down. He said, have the courage to ask the questions for context. It creates trust and empathy and that's where you get business.
What's the book title again?
It's called Exactly What to Say, Real
Exactly What You Say by Phil Jones.
It's
a small book and it's mighty.
It's an easy read too.
It's so good.
But I would
The
recommend
author's
downloading it on
like
the cap. Because
Yes.
he reads it. He has.
Yes.
That's a great book.
Yeah.
Is that one or the one specifically for real estate?
Get the one.
Both.
They're both good. I'm both. Also, he's the one who said this to us.
Yeah.
Same
Listen,
words.
silence.
Same words. I'm 46 years old. I never put that together on my own.
Yes, right. Oh, silent look.
Where the fuck All right, Marquia, let it roll, babe. What you get?
All right,
By the
so
way, we're matching.
Yeah.
We're matching. She wears it better. Go for it, babe.
all right, so where are the football fans? Football is starting. So I'm a Georgia fan, so when I heard Team Tebow was gonna be there, I was like, Florida. But it actually was very, very. It was very inspiring, actually. I'm a
Florida Gator too, and it was pretty inspiring.
It was very inspiring, and I think one thing for me, I think the mindset of a quarterback more than anything is very impressive to me because they hold the whole team together. And so I watched like the Netflix series, the quarterbacks, and looking at how all of them think, and I'm like, I need to think like a quarterback. I think that's my mindset right now. And so he pretty much talks about happiness, like he won the Heisman Trophy, and is even everybody knows his story. He went to the NFL, he was a flop, and it's like
It was great.
Well,
until they didn't like
until they didn't like him, exactly. And it's like one of those things where the mindset, when it goes back to what Candace is talking about finding your happiness. So I feel like in real estate, we all want to be to a certain level. We all want success, but how do you measure success? In the sense, is it a dollar amount, or is it more so about how you feel about people? And that's more so what he went into after retirement. He actually found a community that he started to give back to.
more so at-risk kids. He's in what, 87 different countries where he's with his foundation, where he's going around and just giving back. And it's something that he cares deeply about. There's a couple of things that he talked about that, or questions that really that he asked and things that he made an impact on, is that how many people you know really loves what they do? And I feel like as real estate, we all love real estate, or do we really love people? Do we really love relationships? But in reality, real estate is what we do, but we really love the people.
Good.
So belief is contagious. Paint a picture of something nobody's ever seen, and do you actually believe in it? So when you say I want to sell 30 homes, is that actually just saying, or like, can you literally close your eyes and see the vision and go deep to say, okay, I'm focused on this one thing, and this will pretty much take my business to the next level. So that was really good. Patience and passion equal the same thing. Embrace the grind. Do you have the patience to stay in the fight? You never know the impact it will make and change you may have. And I think with the market changing, whether you've been in the business 10 years, 15 years, 2 months, it's definitely, you have to have the patience and the passions in order to grind and to stay in the race. And also, you must know the difference between success and being significant. Significant is about caring about other people. So once you find, I would say, your community and really find out how you want to make an impact, I definitely feel like your business will become a lot easier, rather than you finding that one thing in real estate, or either finding an outside community where you don't feel like you're working. And then what if a setback was set up for something bigger? And that's important for me, because a lot of people feel like, oh my God, I'm set back. And as to what John said, it's more so those limiting thoughts that you put against yourself, and you're like, oh, I did this, I did that, but like, who's measuring your setback? So if you look at it as opportunities to say, well, this was a minor setback for a bigger comeback, it's the second half, it's going into fourth quarter, so.
You should make a sign. That's a t-shirt.
Yeah. What did I say? What did I say?
Recorded.
It's not a setback for
A major comeback, Markia. Okay, order 10. And then the comeback is possible, gain your momentum. So I would say, as we're going into fourth quarter, football, of course, let's take our fair share of the market, and our setbacks are, what is it? Exactly. So that was my take on Tim Tebow. He was great. And he has a series on Netflix right now as well, too, which I'm watching.
All right, I'm gonna tell on the men, because we were all sitting there at Tim Tebow. Remember this? So Aubrey's sitting here. Aubrey's sitting here. Now she's laughing because Aubrey's here, Scott's here, and then I'm here. And so Tim Tebow walks out on the stage.
Yeah.
Y'all want to get into a contest? What's going on?
It was unbelievable.
It was so funny. It was
To us. Scott tapped me on the shoulder and said, Heather, me and Tim are on the stage together, nobody would tell us.
Except for the arms.
Okay, so I'm gonna talk about the grind a little bit. And one of the things, I think was on the first day in the morning, Gary or Jason said, I can't remember, happy doesn't happen by accident, it's intentional. And how many of us have those days? Like, I literally, every morning I get up, I walk out my front door with the dogs, and I'm like, dogs, it's gonna be a great day. I'm usually talking myself into it. And I have to be honest, lately I've been in a funk. Don't know why, peeling back the layers with my coach, trying to figure out why I'm just not motivated. I did not want to go to mega camp. Like, paid room, had a great roommate and everything. I didn't have it in me. And my big thing at mega camp is not so much the speakers. I mean, those are great, but you can watch them after when you get back, because they're recorded, most of them. Mine is about meeting the people. So I wore my little name tag. My goal is always to meet 100 new friends. And not just like, give me your card, sort of thing. I want to have those relationships with people. And I was struggling, even Jan, my wing girl, because she's a great wing girl, by the way. She like connected you.
People bring me along.
Yeah, she's super great that way. But I was really, really struggling to do this. And I was like, every day I saw my coach, I'm like, don't have it in me, don't have the mojo. And then probably like, I don't know, it was probably Tuesday night / Wednesday morning, I was like, okay, why am I worrying about the quantity of the people I'm trying to meet? And I realized I need to focus on the quality. And I have a really great referral group. That's like only one agent can be in each city from around the country. And I thankfully on Wednesday morning had kind of planned to meet a bunch of them for coffee and kind of, get a picture so we can kind of have that. But I became a little more intentional that last day, which is really kind of like a scramble day anyway. So much going on. They crammed it all in this so few times or a few hours. But I still, probably got about 50 new friends that I did when I wasn't in the mood. Because I changed my mindset. I was like, listen, I'm not going to go for the quantity. I don't care if I hit 100. Did I hit 35? And do I have appointments set up to talk to all those people when I get back already? So even when you're not in the mood to go, on my 411, I have family reunion in Las Vegas 2024. If you know me, I don't like Vegas.
Neither do I.
Vegas is not my place. I'm like, don't want to go. I will sign up. I will do it because I know I meet my peeps. And some of these peeps, one of them, for example, we just had a call yesterday with one of my dearest friends from high school, whose husband just took a very high power job in Nashville, and they're going to be buying probably a $2 million property there.
Nice.
And I had coffee with him when we were at Mega Camp. And I was like, I remembered, oh yeah, him, and tell Scott, sorry, but he's not quite there yet.
No, it's not.
But, so those relationships, when you go to these events, are so important. Now, I'm still a paper girl. I like these cards. I hate the digital cards. Personally, I have one.
Track them. I got so many.
Yeah, they like get downloaded to your phone and you're like, okay, I have 50 more people. I don't know who they are.
Yeah.
And then when you're doing rapid fire, even putting in, KW Mega Camp 23 can kind of be hard. So I'm still kind of a card person. So when you go to these events though, bring some cards. Like think about that and figure out what your purpose is for whichever conference you're going to, whether it's to meet new people. And really that has become mine and it has served me well. Because I know a lot of you reach out to me, who do you have in Chicago? Who do you have in Texas? Who do you have wherever? I have a lot of friends in different cities. I'm very purposeful now on what cities I'm trying to look for friends as well. I look at my database, my people around the country, around the world even, and who do I know that is going to need someone's help somewhere?
Well,
And
it's
I
all
find
about
those people.
relationships.
Yeah.
How much have you gotten in referral? Have you tracked it? How many referrals?
This year, I think I've done probably about 14 in referral fees from my referral people. I also have 12 Starbucks cards, which don't laugh about that. But a lot of my connecting is people know I'm the connector. So my retirement plan.
It's Starbucks card.
Yeah, no, not. But my retirement plan is to sit in my cute little cabin in Sonoma and have people call me saying, hey, I think I need to sell or buy my house. Who do you have in LA? Who do you have in Portland? Who do you have wherever?
Yeah.
And I'm gonna connect them and someone's gonna send me money for doing that.
I love it.
And it's, it's a great way to, still stay in the business, but be out.
Part of the exit strategy, I love that. Give a class on your networking with other agents because that you share. Share it with me. I went and applied it right away.
Yeah.
And now I have a connect.
Yeah, love it.
Just based on that.
Now,
one
we
bit.
got something on the
Yeah.
calendar. All right, guys, it's 12:30
I know.
now. We have 2 more people that I know have really good stuff. Will you hang out with us for a few more minutes?
Yes.
All right, go for it, Ronna.
Hi, everybody. So I went to the luxury mastermind the first day I arrived, and I'm not a great note taker, so I borrowed somebody else's note, and I wanted to share something like that. And the copy to Raven, so you're gonna be receiving the whole notes with the team meeting. So in luxury, what are the today's challenges? They are the same as in every other business: lead, listening, and leverage. Number one, who is the best consumer who has a need to buy or to sell? And what's the best strategy to convert them? Same as for all price level, relocation, right sizing, second home market, divorce, devastation. What about the commute? What about the congestion? What about seeing something else that they like better or they can live differently?
COVID has helped us to think differently about where we live and how. We have to ask more questions, we have to be more curious, we have to come from a place of contribution. So we don't only stop at what they say at the initially, we try to dig deeper to see like what else can work for them. Who can we market to? In this market, we have to ask more questions to help them get to where they need to go to. Being more intentional with our conversation, and then go where they go. Hang out in the places where the more everyone.
Say that again. Say it nice and loud.
Go where they go.
Hang out where they hang out.
Hang out in the places where more everyone potential clients are. Bump up our online presence for those who are researching us. Have a focus on a luxury niche. Do a walkthrough of your luxury stay to promote it on YouTube. House craft of the week, for instance. Another point, have a focus on design, luxury appliances, niche that are luxury focused. Have an intentional plan for agent to agent referral. Have conversation with buyers. What is the value of the view versus the value of your family's emotion enjoying the view? So instead of focusing on like what you usually say, try to bring more emotion into it because emotion.
Right. Emotion makes us act, logic makes us think, emotion makes us. So if you imagine families sitting out looking on a barbecue, looking at this view.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And the second item that was discussed is about pricing. How do we turn owners into sellers and shoppers into buyers? How do we determine the right price for the seller? And how do we educate the seller on the right price and the consumer to say yes to that? What one language tactic can we use? Conversation, tool, everything. And that was the brainstorming. So you will get a copy of that. It's just like opening our mind to be more intentional in whatever we do. And there's a lot of different lead generation. Don't get overwhelmed trying to do it all. Pick up one, but dig very deep into it. And that's how you become master of it.
Be a master.
Oh, well, being the last person, some people already touched on it, but that Bill M. Jones was incredible. So download his audiobook, he narrates it amazing. But I loved him because really, for those of you, part of our job description is to script every single day. And although, yes, people are like turned off by because they feel like they have to memorize something, but that's not necessarily it. He really focused in on, like digging deep into motivation. He said people move for 3 reasons. One, to get away from something. So maybe there's, they got divorced and they have to move. To move towards something, they need to get closer to someone they love or, something that brings joy. And the third reason is just for their self-fulfillment, something they want for themselves, selfish reasons. So you'll never find out what those reasons are if you're not asking the right questions. And so 2 of the examples of things that he asks to get kind of into that motivation when you're really trying to convince someone to do something or dig in deeper is everybody likes to, if I asked you, are you open-minded? Everybody wants to believe that they're open-minded, right? So he will open up a question saying, hey, would you be open-minded to, and you fill in the blank, any real estate question would fit in there. For instance, what the equity in your home looks like to see what you can do to build whatever for your family. You know what I mean? Like, would you be open-minded to literally fill in the blank? That was one of them. And the other one was, I don't know if this is for you, but because everybody has FOMO, right? Nobody wants to be left out. And so one of the things is, I don't know if this is for you, but there's an open house happening in the neighborhood. If you want to step over, and check things out.
I don't know if you're interested, but there's an open house.
So I just thought that was really cool. He was incredible. And his whole book is filled with these types of openers. But I'm really big, I feel like a lot of people get nervous about what to say to future potential clients, and you never want your potential future clients to be the ones that you're practicing on. So if you don't have one, get a script partner or someone that you can have these types of conversations with. And I could even take it a step further by saying, get with someone who's actually really good at it, because that's the way you learn. And then once you have that language, it's like the key that opens up all the
I've been
doors.
driving my wife nuts for 2 weeks. Every question starts with, are you open to?
You. And I think I know the script of this morning.
We got this.
I don't know if this is for you,
What
but
I-
can you imagine? Yeah, I've got Marquia and Heather. So Marquia, go, and then Heather.
So after mega camp, we all went, or some of us went to go eat afterwards, and me and Heather, we actually, he talked about open-ended questions, and Heather had a glass of water, and I said, well, how's your water? She tastes like tap water, and I'm like, what's tap water taste like? She's like, oh, well, when I was in New York, then I'm like, well, what part of New York? And she's like, this part, and I'm like, well, what's there? And it just opened up a whole line of questions, and we're like, how did we get here? So like, I learned so much, and I'm like, okay, all of this started off a glass of water, so it was pretty cool.
Yeah, she learned that my family had a house upstate by a ski mountain, and what did you do over Thanksgiving? I mean, it was such a good conversation. That was thanks to Phil Jones. The other thing that Phil said that I thought was really brilliant, he said, fear as an acronym is false evidence of fearing real. He also said, F everything and run. But he said that fear is the fertilizer of growth. And so if you are not scared of something, chances are you're not growing.
Are you guys awesome? Yeah. So hard to condense, but we hope you got some good things out of today. And you guys, thank you for taking the time to, first of all, go, right? Even when you don't feel like it. Thank you for going, and most of all, for bringing it back to us. So thank you so much. You guys, it is 12:41. I never keep you late. So thank you for staying, and you guys have a great meeting. And we'll see you soon.
Okay, I wanted to give a real quick announcement if you see the fee. Maria.
Oh, wow.
About tonight. Tonight?
Yeah.
So one of our agents here in the office, happen to be married to him, but that aside. He is running for Rockville City Council, and at 1920 Tavern tonight at 6 o'clock, we're having like it's his kickoff, but it's also a small business like appreciation dinner. So we'll have wine, we'll have appetizers. We'd love to see all of y'all there.
Go in there, y'all.
I know. Also, St. Jackson's got a class starting at 20 minutes in here. Get phones.